Lindsay here, the Frugal Crafter, and you are watching another 12 Days of CRAFTmas video. This week I am teaming up with Catherine from the YouTube channel DoItOnaDime, and she is one of my favorite frugal YouTubers. She has lots of great ideas for home decor, decluttering and organizing, DIY crafts, and also some cooking stuff, and she does it all on the cheap, so make sure you check her video out after you're done watching this one today. And since Catherine's a teacher, I thought it would be really cool to make some monogrammed note cards for our teachers. I mean, we want to show our appreciation. They watch our kids every day, but what we don't want to do is give them a pile of stuff that's just going to collect dust on the shelf. So I thought this will actually get used and will be something they would really want. So let's go to the table and I'll show you how it's done. For this project, you'll need a couple different designs of pattern paper, white cardstock, some card bases. You can either make those from cardstock or you can find some pre-printed ones or pre-colored ones with envelopes. It's up to you. Paper punches in circles or fancy label shapes, or you can use die cuts, ink pads, alphabet stamps, frames if you want, and a paper trimmer. You'll also need adhesive for your project. Start by cutting one of your papers into 1-inch strips. You can get 2 cards from each strip of paper. Then use a large fancy punch to punch out some shapes out of the other pattern paper you chose. If you use the punch upside down, you can see exactly where you're punching. Next, if you have them, stamp some frames on some white cardstock. You can cut or punch those out later. Now stamp some alphabets in slightly darker ink. Make sure you leave plenty of room around each stamp so that you can punch them out later. Punch or die cut out your frame shapes. And then punch out your alphabet monograms. You can see how much easier it is to do this if you use the punch upside down. Now let's build our card. Put a strip of adhesive along the, I'd say bottom quarter of your card. Then put your pattern paper strip on the adhesive. Flip it over to trim it to size and then save that leftover piece to embellish another card. To make my die cut stand out a little bit more, I like to go along the edges with an ink pad. You don't have to do this if you don't have an ink pad. It's just a nice option. These tiny ink pads are nice. They're called dewdrops, and you can ink up a really big stamp, or you can do the edges on a stamp, all with the same pad. So they're a really versatile pad to have, especially if you don't have a lot of space to store a lot of ink pads. Now we're going to stick that in the middle of our strip, and if you don't like the symmetrical look, you can always off-center it. It's completely up to you. I just think this is a very classic way to do a monogram card. Then I'm going to add on one of these stamped frames here. Put that right in the middle. And then I'm going to put one of the monogram letters. Now the great thing about rubber stamps is that you can make as many as you want, and you can use, you can make them for anybody, whatever their first or last initial is, whichever one you want to use. And then to make this a little bit more interesting, I'm going to use a foam square. You can get foam tape at any hardware store or craft store, and they're really great for putting a little dimension on your cards. And that's how you make the cards. You can stamp a design on the envelopes that go with the cards if you want to make it extra special. I'm just simply using these little flowers that came with my alphabet set, and I'm just stamping and then stamping again so I get 2 different shades of ink. So first generation, second generation, and I'm just doing that along the bottom of the envelope. Nothing fancy, just for a little extra whimsy for the cards. And here's the finished card kit. Remember, you can change up the pattern paper that you use based on your recipient's preferences. You can make these quickly and easily for all your kids' teachers and community members and neighbors and friends, whoever you want to give a personalized gift to this season. They're so fun and easy to make, and best of all, they're not going to gather dust on the shelf because they will get used. I want to thank Catherine from DoItOnaDime for collabing with me. If you haven't checked out her channel, make sure you do. She has so many wonderful ideas, from budget, decorating, to organizing, crafts, and so much more. And if you're here from Catherine's channel, please check out my tutorials. I have over 1,000 of them, and I'd love it if you subscribed and spent a little more time crafting with me. Thank you so much for watching, and until next time, happy crafting. It's CRAFTmas all over the world. It's time for craft.